I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Mike.
Welcome back to the A&M podcast.
So, how's your week going? It's only, Tuesday when this comes out, but it's really Monday. But it could be any day because we don't know when people are listening to it.
My weekend was great and it was fast, and now my week is off to a fine start.
That's good.
What
That's the
about
way you
you?
want it. Yeah, the weekend did go by fast. We were saying that this morning. Mom and I were saying that this morning. It was like, wow, I feel like it
Yeah.
just was the weekend and now it's work. And yeah, so far so good.
Also, it was
With,
kind of gloomy all
this
weekend,
week.
which doesn't usually, I don't mind a
Yeah,
gloomy
yeah,
weekend sometimes, I guess, but I had
yeah.
more expectations for this weekend, so when it was
Mm,
gloomy, it was kind of like,
yeah. Yeah, it makes you slow down, but if there's stuff you want to get done, it's kind of like, ah. It's annoying. Yeah. So,
So today we are going to be talking about dreams
yeah.
and the history behind them, and
The
whatever else we
history.
want to say about them.
Yeah. Yeah. And we talked kind of before about like what causes you to have dreams, which, they're just like, I think as humans, they're just something that we experience from the time we're little. So we just think it's, a normal part of life. But then when you go back and you think about it, you think like, what makes your brain like do that? What makes your brain suddenly go, hey, let's show him a movie while he's, it's
You know what?
like,
I know I actually saw a meme not that long ago, and it was like, scary dreams are like nightmares are so embarrassing because, bro, you literally just made up that scary guy in your head and
right,
got scared of him.
right. Yeah, that's true. That's
Like,
true.
yeah, you're right. I just come up with this scary movie in my head and I'm scared of it. And I know
Yeah,
it's fake, but I don't in the moment.
yeah, yeah.
But,
That's it. Or go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, it's funny to me because there's two types of dreams I think of. There's the dreams where like it's just it's like you're watching a movie almost. It's like, I mean, it's you, but it's like you're watching a movie where like this stuff's just happening and whatever. And then there's the ones where it's like you realize that it's a dream. Do you ever have that where like partway through you go, oh, this isn't real, this is a dream? And
Yeah.
those ones are cool because like then you can like I've had dreams like that where it's like, oh wait, this is just a dream, and suddenly I'm able to like fly like Superman
Yeah,
or
you're like,
something. You know
wait
what
a
I mean?
minute,
Because
let
it's
me
like
test it
I
out.
can do whatever I want. Yeah, which is like that's even kind of crazier because it's like your brain is just it knows that you're in a dream, but it's
You know how they
it's
say when back in the day, like obviously way, way back, how the the I don't think it was cavemen, whoever it was, they would look up at the sky, and if they saw a meteor shower or a shooting star or whatever, they would think it was a bigger thing. I wonder how they felt about dreams back in the day. Like, did they have
yeah.
dreams like that
I
back
bet
then, and what did they think of it at that
I
point?
would. Yeah, I would bet you back then. Um, they probably more thought of it as like like prehistoric type thing. They probably thought of it as like messages from God or something like
Like
that.
a sign of something,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, and then the other thing that I was thinking about with them is like there's common dreams. There's dreams that like are very common. Everybody describes them like falling off of a building or
Teeth
you know
falling
you sh-
out.
yeah, teeth falling out. You show up to work or school and you don't have any clothes on. Um, the craziest one to me, and I think Chris has talked about having this in the past, but is this thing called like sleep paralysis,
Oh yeah, Chris has had
where
that.
yeah, where you're like it's kind of a dream, but you're kind of awake because you're like there's like two different versions of it. There's one where you're literally laying there and you can't move.
I've never had that.
Eh,
Have you had that?
I have. I used to. I haven't in a long time, but I used to. And then there's the one where it's just like you're having a dream, that like say you fall down the street and there's a car coming and you can't move, you can't get up from the car coming, that kind of thing. Those
What?
those kind of things are weird. You've never experienced any of those?
I've never had anything like that. That would probably freak me out. There's probably a reason that I've never had anything like that because I would just go into
Right?
like cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
uh,
Well, and I was reading some stuff about how they've done like research into it, and like the parts of your brain that are activated, you know, when like dreams are going on, like the parts that are actually active,
mhm.
and I didn't understand any of it, of course, because it's talking about like the different lobes of your brain and all that. But
Mhm.
it was interesting to me because it's like, well, first of all, that they're doing that kind of research,
Mhm.
and then it also talked about like the theories on what different dreams mean and that kind of thing, which is all that's all theoretical. People don't really know. Like, I feel like if anything, if you're having a dream a lot and you're somebody who goes to like a psychologist or something like that, and maybe you explain the dream to them, they're gonna talk to you about what's going on in your life and that kind of thing, and they're gonna say, oh well, yeah, that's clearly because you're clearly dreaming that you fell in the street and can't get up because a car is coming because you're stressing about your taxes or
Do you believe in that
something.
stuff though?
Do I believe in psychology?
No, like when like if I have a dream about something and I Google like why am I dreaming about my teeth falling out and it says this reason. Do you
Yeah.
think that there is some truth behind that, or do you think it's just mostly made up?
I mean, I think. Well, I think we don't know as much as they think we know, because I've
I think
even with the
true.
different topics, like I think the teeth falling out thing. There's like different theories on what that is. One says that, oh, it's because you don't think you're taking good enough care of yourself, in the
Oh
back of your
yeah.
mind, and the other is, oh, you're stressing about something. I forget exactly what it was. There was another version that was just saying it's stress related and that kind of thing, and it's you know, I don't think they know, right? Until they figure out, like scientifically, not based on because all of them are theories, right?
Mhm.
Like until they figure out scientifically, like literally, what in your brain causes you to have dreams,
Yeah.
and like some of it is related to like things that are in your surroundings. Like one of the things that I was asking my good friend Chat GPT about the topic
Yeah.
was like, is it is it common for people to have dreams? Because these are ones that I've had where like you're you're an actor in a TV show that you like, or you're
Mhm.
a guest on a talk show that you listen to, or that kind of thing, or you work at one of those. And I've had that a few times in different scenarios, and I thought that's kind of an odd thing. And it kind of said that is common. It's not as common as like the falling off a building thing, which is like everybody has that
Just
dream, or
falling in
the
general,
yeah, or you're
like
being
from
chased
heights.
chased by somebody. Like everybody has that dream. There's like, this was some of the stuff that I found, though, like on the common dream things, like falling is an out. It means you feel out of control. How do they know that? I don't know, because I had that dream when I was a kid, and I mean,
Like how much were you
I
really
don't think
going
I
through?
don't think yeah, I will. You don't go through that much as a kid. I mean, you are
Some
out of
kids do.
control because you're a kid.
I think that certain dreams like that definitely mean something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, I think because what are the chances that we're all just dreaming about our teeth falling out? Like that
Right.
is to me that's such a random thing that what are the
Right.
chances it's so popular that so many of us have that same dream over like generations as well. And
Right.
then all the especially all the other things as well, like the falling and whatever. I
Right.
think that it definitely means something. I agree with you. I don't think anyone really knows exactly what it means because at the same time, I think it's one of those things that you can apply it to anything. sometimes now, sometimes I do believe zodiac stuff, but I think
Zodiac stuff.
clearly not enough that that's how I'm referring to it. But I think a lot of those things too are things that, if I have a dream that my teeth are falling out and it says because you're stressed or because you feel like you're not taking care of yourself, I think I could look at myself and be like, oh, yeah, maybe I am a little stressed. You
Yeah,
know what? Like, yeah, I was a little bit stressed last week. Oh yeah, you know what? I
yeah.
did have like,
It's called the
I did
placebo
skip a
effect.
couple days at the gym, so yeah, like maybe that is why my teeth
I
are
think it's
falling out in
called.
my dream.
I think that's the placebo effect. Anyway,
Yeah.
like when you think that something is what it is, then you believe it's what it is.
Like you're trying to
There's
apply it.
Yeah, and like it says, the falling is feeling out of control. Being chased is avoiding something in real life. So there's like something you don't want to deal with that you're avoiding. Losing teeth is worrying about your appearance or losing control. Flying is wanting freedom or a confidence boost. No, I like flying in my dreams just because it's cool.
It's just because I can.
Yeah, it's because I can. That's right.
A
Can't move or
confidence
walk,
boost.
feeling stuck or powerless. So maybe that's why I had that in dreams before, but I haven't lately because I don't feel stuck or powerless anymore.
I would freak out if I had sleep paralysis. So you're laying
Yeah.
there, so sleep paralysis, you are laying there and you can't wake up.
Yeah. So the times that I've had it, it's and they talk the things that I was reading too talk about like, REM sleep where you're in a deeper sleep versus like I think they call it NREM sleep, which is lighter sleep. And it's been times where I was in that lighter sleep mode, right? Where like I would think that somebody was like trying to break into the house. And while they were trying to break into the house, I couldn't move. Like I was unable to get up and do anything about it. And I've had that happen. I like even relatively recently, maybe in the past couple of months, I've had that happen where, you know, like I said, you feel like it's actually happening to you, and then I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, okay, that wasn't real, and then I'll go back to sleep, and maybe it'll happen again. And that's the other thing that's interesting to me is how like time can pass differently in a dream. Like you can be
Oh, yeah.
asleep for a short amount of time and you have a dream that spans over hours. How does that work? How does your brain like process information as though time is passing differently than it is?
So they actually say that dreams, like you have actually multiple dreams over the course of like the time that you're sleeping, but
Hmm.
the way because of I guess just how your brain processes them or whatever you want to call it, that you just never, that's why the only dream that you really remember is the last dream that you've probably had right before you woke up.
Mm,
And even then, I don't know about you, but there's a lot of times like your memory doesn't really hold on to dreams that
right.
well. That's why, I mean, at least for me, unless I'm telling somebody about my dream right after I have it, or it's just that memorable, or it's a dream I keep having or something, you'll forget your dream. If you wait a couple hours, you'll probably forget all the details of your dream that you might have remembered right after you woke up. So you actually have multiple dreams over the course of yourself sleeping. You just don't remember them.
Yeah, the thing I read said that on average people have 4 to 6 dreams a night, and you just don't retain them. Some of them are not vivid enough, and that's
Yeah.
probably also why things like nightmares that wake you up you remember, because I read the same thing you did that said that like you remember it most when you first wake up. They actually, when they're doing like sleep studies, or they're doing like the scientific studies into dreams, one of the things that they do in addition to like having brain scans going on to see what parts of your brain are active, they also, when you wake up, tell you to like log it, like keep a a diary, basically a dream diary of like what you experienced in your dreams, which is
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm going to put a notepad by my desk and start, or by my bed rather, and start writing them because I don't sleep at my desk. That's not what I'm saying. I don't have dreams at my desk.
I would think that you would. Not, on the regular basis, just in terms of you're always working. On the
Yeah.
A&M podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, no, and then the one other thing that I read too kind of said what I've said before is that one of the theories is it's just your brain, it's your brain consolidating information. One thing said, which doesn't make any sense to me because, but it also said like consolidating memories. But then the one other thing said that yeah, it's your brain just trying to do something while you're while you're resting. There
Oh,
there was
yeah. Because it
one
says
really.
dreaming may help strengthen the memory and recall by consolidating learning
Yeah,
and informational tasks
yeah.
and
And
emotional processing as well.
so there was another thing that that I don't think I read this. I think it was actually one of the last time that, or I think it was the last time that our company had like one of the all hands meetings.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy there that was a speaker
Mm-hmm.
who he was talking about like idea generation and that kind of thing, problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that he said was like work on problems that you're trying to solve right before you go to bed because your brain continues to work on those problems while you're sleeping. It continues to do, and I've experienced that because I do some like side projects for people that need some help with like IT stuff, software stuff. And I've had so many times where I was looking at a problem, right before I went to bed. I was tired, so I couldn't figure it out. And like overnight, the solution would come to me. Like I'd wake up and be like, "Oh, that's what I need to do." Now, some of that is when you're working on it when you're tired, your brain's just not firing, and
Mm-hmm.
then you're rested and you wake up and your brain's firing again. But
Mm-hmm.
I also believe that that's definitely a real thing that your brain does continue to work on problems while you sleep, which is
Mm-hmm.
just that's it's mind blowing. There's so much about like, and I think that's why this topic is kind of fascinating to me because there's so much about your brain that we just don't understand. Not your brain specifically. I mean, there is a lot about your
There,
brain
yeah.
specifically that we don't understand, but the human
Facts.
brain in general, there's a lot that we don't understand, and that is just fascinating to me.
This says preparing for threats. Dreaming may help prepare for potential future threats. That's really funny to me. Like, wait a minute, I remember how to dream about this, and this is how I handled it.
Yeah, yeah,
They also say, which this is like a known thing, I think at this point, like so many people have said this, but that you can't your brain can't like make up faces. Like if somebody's face or somebody's in your dream, it's because you've seen
yeah.
them before, which I think is pretty interesting. Like, what are you doing here? But that also could mean like a celebrity. You'll never have just a random
Right.
made
Like
up
you'd never,
face.
like your brain doesn't make up people. See, I disagree
Hmm.
with that.
But it could also
Um,
just be somebody that you like walk past in the store that you looked at that you don't really remember looking at, but your brain remembers that you looked at them. You know what I
I
mean?
don't know. I don't know because I've had an experience, and I'm just asking if this is common. But um, wow, and it says it is. I've had an experience where I have dreamt about somebody. I've had a dream, random dream about something going on. There's been somebody in that dream that I didn't know, and then the next day I've been somewhere and I've been like, oh my gosh, that's that person that was. And it happened once with like my next door neighbor that I was friends with, and I was over their house and like their cousin was visiting them, and that was the person that was in the dream. So it was very weird. So
What?
here's what my good friend is saying about this because I said, is it common to dream about someone you've never met and see them later? Says, yes, it's surprisingly common experience for people to dream about someone they think they've never met. Now it says think in italics, so only later to encounter them in real life. This can feel eerie, but there are a few grounded explanations. your brain remixes faces. That's kind of what you're talking about.
Hmm.
It's not it's not great at inventing entirely new face. It recycles people you've seen, even if it was so. It just like it would like take somebody and put a mustache on them
You know what's
to
crazy
make a different
though? When
person.
I think about it, I don't know about you, but when I have had dreams, like even when I look back at dreams, it's like I'll know who it is, but I never really look at their face in my dreams
Yeah,
enough to
really.
like
So you don't remember like. See,
like
that's
I could
strange for
have a
me.
dream about like with you in it, and I'll know that it's you, and I'll like see you there obviously and stuff, but it's not like I'm never like really looking at someone's face in my dream.
Right,
Like how I'm looking at your face right now. I'm never tuned in and looking at their face
right,
that detailed, I guess.
right,
To
right.
the extent where if I even saw somebody out, but I might have a situation where I'm dreaming about hanging out with my friend and their cousin,
Yeah.
but I'm not looking at their face in a detailed enough
Well,
way to, if I saw them the next day, to be like, wait a minute, that's the
yeah,
same face that was in my dream. It would be, wow, I had a
yeah.
dream that I was like, you were kind of
Well,
in that.
see, and in this case, it wasn't that I was dreaming about like the friend or anything like that. It was just like this was just a person that was there that was I was talking to or something like
That's
that.
crazy.
The other the other thing that it says is it's like a confirmation bias
Hmm.
where you think that this person that you're seeing is looks like the person that was in your dream, and then there's also the possibility that you just have precognition, which is basically that you see the future. um no, that's that. It says some people believe that dreams can occasionally see into the future, called precognitive dreams. Science hasn't proven this, but yeah, it's and then it mentions parallel realities, the multiverse. It could be the multiverse. I've met them in the multiverse. That's I think it's that. I met them in another version of myself in a different universe.
You talking even about like how dreams, it says that there's still science behind dreaming is still being explored, and no theory has been exclusively proven, by the way. So
Wow.
like basically to say they don't even know why we dream, which
Wow.
I think.
Yeah, well that's I mean, it's because they don't 100% understand how the human brain works. Like they
Hmm.
know, oh, when this happens, this part of the brain is involved because they're able to like see that it's active. They're able to, with those brain sensors, they can see that when you're doing this part of your brain is active.
Hmm.
Um, but they don't like I don't think they 100% know how all of that stuff works. So until
Or
you
why it happens
completely
to some.
understand how, I mean, that kind of goes back to some of the stuff we were talking about before about being able to like download a brain. I feel like when we're at the point where you can literally download someone's consciousness, you'd have to understand the brain to a point where you could really be able to figure out like what dreams mean.
Hmm. Yeah.
What One other interesting thing it says in here is some traditions, like lucid dreamers or Tibetan dream yoga practitioners, say we all visit a shared dream space and can bump into each other there. So our consciousnesses are all
I don't know about
in
believing
like it's
that.
like a yeah, no,
We might bump into each
not
other
that one.
there, like,
Yeah, it's
Dad,
like
what are you doing
they make
here?
it. Yeah, they make it sound like how when you're playing the Switch and you go online and
Yeah.
you say, oh,
Yeah.
look, Alyssa's here. Yeah,
Oh, that's so funny.
yeah. Could you imagine if that's what it was? That would
That's
be
interesting. You know what's funny? I
yeah.
follow this girl on TikTok, and she she says that she's like I guess she's like a median or some form of that.
Okay.
And some people also think that like those people, it's kind of the same situation of what I just said, even about like the explanations for why we have certain dreams of like they'll just give like a generic thing of, oh wait, who wore a blue hat? They're saying something
Yeah.
about a blue hat.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
think
Yeah. Yeah.
about like somebody that wore a
Yeah.
blue hat and answer it for
Yeah.
you. So this lady, she does like peaks, and she says that like she sees, she'll do a peek on like mostly just famous people that have passed away, and she's like, oh yeah, they're about to cross over, they're doing good, like and the way she says that she even does it, it's like almost, I don't know, to me, I don't know how she does it, but it almost sounds like she's having a dream, and she's seeing these people in her dream, and yeah, I don't know.
That
And
that
they're
could.
like
I mean,
they're communicating with her in a dream, and but then she's also saying that like in the afterlife that time moves like extremely like different, like over the course of years. Here in the afterlife, she says that it's like minutes.
yeah. I mean that, and again, that could be true. That goes back to the whole thing that I'm talking about, where like I'm asleep and I feel like it's been 3 hours because I had a dream that felt like it was 3 hours long, and I look at the clock and it's only been 20 minutes. That kind of thing. That's something else I'd like to do some addition, because that I did not look up if that's a common thing, and explanations for that. Because again, if my
Hmm.
brain is processing that time as though it was hours,
Yeah.
how can it have only been 20? Like, in other words, if there was enough activity, at least the way that I can kind of felt it was,
Hmm.
um, how can it have only taken place in a short amount of time? That part of like this kind of stuff is really interesting to me.
I do love when it's like the weekend and I can actually sleep in and finish out my dream. Like, when you're having like a really good dream, and then your alarm goes off and you gotta get up and like start your day, go to
Yeah,
work, and
yeah. That's usually the dream where I'm flying. That's
uh,
that one.
and
It's
you're
like,
like,
oh,
man, I want to see what happens next. I don't want to cut it short, but I
yeah,
also, sorry guys, I'm late for work.
yeah,
Had to finish
yeah,
out this dream. It was a good one.
yeah, yeah,
If you knew, you'd understand. I also don't remember anything about it to even explain it to you, but trust me, it
yeah,
was a good one.
yeah. It's like that's the flying dreams. I'm telling you, those are the ones where I'm like, why did I wake up now? I wasn't done flying. I wanted to fly a little longer.
I don't have too many flying dreams, but
No,
I'm glad that you sound like you have them often.
yeah, not often. I haven't had one in a while, but that was one that
Do you
I used to have
dream
a lot.
almost every night?
I would say yes. I don't remember, like we've said before, I don't remember most of them. But I do. Like, I had one last week. I was telling your mom about that we still lived, or no, not that we still lived. That we bought our house that we lived in Riverview back,
Oh,
A-
wow.
and then as soon as we did, and we were in the house, I was like, I don't want to live here. Why did we do this?
It would be nice as
Because
a second house.
it would be nice second house, but it was like we sold this house and moved there, and I'm like, I moved here because I wanted to be here. Why would I do that? So
Oh, wow, that's
yeah,
funny.
that was a weird one. There was another one too that at the time I remember it. Oh, I don't remember what it was. It was a TV show related one. It was one of those ones where it was like, why am I in the middle of this TV show that I watch? Yeah,
Yeah,
strange,
that's funny.
strange. Yeah.
I don't have any interesting ones to share right now. I should have thought
Well,
about some of them before I.
I know. You know what? I seriously think about putting like a notepad by my desk or why do I keep saying desk? I nap on my desk a lot. I'm admitting it right now. I nap. I lay my head down like I'm in school, and I take a nap on my desk, and I have dreams, and then I have to have a notepad there so that when I wake up,
To
I can
write them down.
write down about what my
That's
dreams were.
funny.
Yeah, that doesn't really happen. Doesn't
Uh,
really.
no, yeah, I don't think I have dreams every single night. I like when I do have them though. Have
Yeah.
you ever had someone? Okay, okay. Here's something. What do you think about them? They say that somebody when when you dream about somebody who's passed away, that is them visiting you in your dream. What do you
I,
think about
you
that?
know what? That has happened to me too.
Really?
The one I think of most is your pop-up. I've often had dreams that he was, and it's
Really?
not. Yeah, it's like he never passed. It's like he was still here. And those ones are interesting. Yeah, because it's like it's just a weird experience because yeah, it's like you're still talking to this person that's no longer with us. So yeah,
Yeah.
those are good ones.
Because they say that spirits can, like, that's how they're able to communicate with us when you're in that state. Because I guess you're more vulnerable in that state. They say when we're dreaming, when we're like asleep and we're like that. And then also they say, like, babies and little kids too, because they're like
Yeah,
closer to the, I don't know,
yeah.
whatever it is.
The one I want to understand is dogs because dogs' brains include the dream function.
Do you think cats have dreams like dogs? Cats don't react the same
I'm
way
trying,
usually.
yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a cat that I was like, oh, look, he's having a dream. But a dog, like a dog will be laying there and their paws will be doing this like they're running
Noticeably having
and
a dream.
they'll be barking, but they'll be barking under their like, woof, woof, like under their breath. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
the dogs definitely have dreams. I also want to know what their dreams are though. Like,
Yeah.
do they have the same common dreams of falling and of all those things? I want to know
Being
that.
chased.
Somebody needs to figure that out for me because I really want to know that.
That's funny. That's
That's
true.
the study we
I
need.
love
Yeah.
watching a dog have a dream.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's the funniest thing. Like seeing a dog just laying there and like barking and running while they're not actually up. I like to think that dogs' dreams are just like running through a field playing with a ball or running with their master or their owner,
I don't know. I feel
like
like they're more.
chasing them.
It's. I feel like their dreams have to be more chaotic than that.
Yeah, actually, it's probably just them running free. That's what their dream is. They don't want to think about their owner. They want to think about like they're running with a bunch of their kind of their breed.
You know what's really embarrassing is when you're sleeping and you're dreaming and you're falling and then you do that little like wake up jolt movement.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
embarrassing is that?
No,
Nothing
you know
more
what?
embarrassing than being like, oh, sorry, I was falling in my dream. And
No,
now
but
I'm kicking in real life.
the you know what the funniest thing to me is I remember the time I remember the falling dream the most. I was somebody pushed me. Actually, I was like standing at the top of like a tower or something on a ladder, and they pushed me off. And when I jolted, it was right as I would have hit the ground that my body jolted. So it literally felt like I fell and I landed in my bed.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
also, again, embarrassing because now I'm causing a
yeah,
commotion just because.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
it's never
when
graceful. It's like, oh, what's
yeah,
wrong? Oh, nothing.
yeah, yeah.
Just
When I when
landing.
when I had that dream, the one I'm thinking of anyway. I was like younger and I was sleeping in a bed by myself, so I didn't have to explain it to anyone. So
Oh, no. I
that
mean,
was a
I
lot
did
easier
it
to deal with.
recently. Like, maybe a week or two ago. Like,
Yeah.
recently. And I think
Have
I like kind of dozed off on the couch. I don't even think I was in my bed yet. I think I
Have you
dozed off
ever
on the
had
couch.
Have you ever had a dream where you woke up either from like in the dream, but then woke up laughing or crying?
Yes, also
Is
embarrassing.
is that the yeah,
Like
that one's
laughing,
embarrassing.
nothing makes you feel
Yeah.
crazier than like
Yeah.
laughing, like giggle, not even like an actual laugh,
Like
giggle, like
yeah. And
yeah.
like almost the uncontrollable one. Yeah. And somebody looks at you like, "What what's wrong with you?" Yeah.
I only had one scary dream before. I don't think I've ever talked about this, but or not one scary dream before. One dream where I actually cried that I can think of, and it involved Brandon, and it was a scary dream. It was a scary dream, and um, Oh man, it was a really bad dream. Like I remember something happened to Brandon, like I don't know, some kind of like scary situation happened to Brandon. I was like, no, like Brandon, you need to get out of there. Like this is like where the
Yeah.
dream started. But yeah,
Yeah.
we were. It was crazy because we were at Grammy's house in the dream. This was so many years ago. We were at Grammy's in the dream, and I don't know, some scary man was there, and he took Brandon in the other room, and I'm pretty sure he was killing Brandon. And I
Oh God.
woke up. I woke up. Brandon's finding out about this dream on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I woke up literally crying because it was one of
Oh
those
yeah.
dreams where it felt so real that it was like,
Yeah. So I think I talked about this before. The one that comes to my mind, like scary dream that comes to my mind, is one that I used to always experience if I would drink like champagne before I went to bed. So
oh,
like
you told me
New Year's
that.
Eve, yeah, I would dream that I was looking out the window and seeing like Armageddon, like nuclear war going off. You know,
That's so
yeah,
great.
mushroom clouds and yeah. So I don't drink champagne before bed anymore. Or at all, really. The only time I
That's
drink champagne is in mimosas, because then I'm hours enough away from night time to, you know,
having a
have it affect
lucid
me. That's
dream after just a glass of champagne is
yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm not proud of that one,
That's so
but it
funny.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
that's a dream that I only remember because it was so scary and
right,
like such a situation that it's like, did that really just happen? And then
right.
yeah, I was like, sometimes to be honest, certain dreams that happen, I do believe like that it's a not like a almost like a premonition. Like, is
Yeah,
this a premonition to something that is about to happen?
yeah.
Because otherwise, why am I dreaming something so crazy?
Right, right. Yeah, there has to be a function. Somebody has to figure out what the function is. What's the function?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I think this was a good discussion.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. That's all I got. I'm out. I need to do more research though. I need to find out about the way time passes in dreams, and maybe I'll comment on that on another episode.
Yeah. And who else needs to do more research? Science.
Science does. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So science, get on that. All right, thanks for listening, guys.
Bye, guys. See you Thursday.
Yeah.